Joanna, but we took it off last week because I wasn't able to record.
Yeah.
And you weren't here, obviously, when Joanna was here. So I feel like it's been a minute. We've got a lot to catch up
So
on.
I was listening to the episode that y'all recorded, and I was like, oh, I wish I could have been there. I had so much. I was talking to y'all as I was listening. I was like, wait, like, to myself. Nobody could hear me. But I was like, dang, that was a good episode.
It really was. She was a blast to record with, honestly. And she was so nervous. She was like, she texted me on her way here and she was like, hey, I'm going to stop and get me a tall boy. Do you want anything? I was like, well, I don't drink beer. I was like, but if they have a buzz ball, I'll take a buzz ball. And so she brought me a couple of buzz balls. So it was relaxing. It was cool.
A vibe.
Yeah, it was a vibe. She was cool, and she wants to come back. I was like, maybe you can come back when Tina's here too, so we can all three just shoot down.
Because I haven't met her. I was like, what am I saying? I haven't met her, but just listening to it, she sounded like a vibe.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to join into that conversation, so I'm a little jelly because I really wanted to join in. I had so much to say, too.
Yeah, she's really cool. I enjoyed having her in. I mean, I've only talked to her through social media, through Facebook and TikTok, and then we exchanged numbers and, we text here and there. Mm-hmm. So meeting her in person, it was like, I was like, okay, the vibe continued. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was
matched.
It matched. It definitely did. Look, aren't you proud of me? I still have all my nails.
Let me touch them.
Yeah, don't give them all.
I know. I love them. They're so cute.
They are. I love them. Love them. And so, guys, I texted Tina and Brittany the other day, and I was like, I got good news and I got bad news. And Tina was like, she said she kind of already knew what I was going to say. But the bad news is, I'm not going to be able to keep this length and my crazy nails. And it may just be temporary, but the good news is I got a new job.
Yes, congrats.
Thank you. I start on the 21st. And until I kind of get the feeling of things.
Right. Get the ball rolling.
Yeah, but for now I'm going to have to tone it down. The length, the craziness on my nails, be a little bit more professional because I don't know what all this job is going to entail. I might be going to conferences. I might be networking a little bit more with, peers and stuff that I don't normally do.
Yeah.
And this is just a bit much for the professional world, for the corporate world. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I love them. At first, when Joanna came, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this length. Like it was, but now it's like,
I've gotten used to it.
Yeah. I'm like, I feel like I've always had my nails this long. Mm-hmm. And
how many times have you stabbed everybody?
I haven't actually.
No way.
I stabbed people more with the red stilettos that I had than I had with these.
That's crazy. You would think because it's much more length that you're stabbing people.
Yeah, no.
And that sounds really bad. But
but no, I haven't. And that I've got still all the gems on there and everything. Like everything's still fully intact.
For my people on TikTok, look at her nails. Aren't they just so cute?
Yes.
I love them.
Yes.
I love them.
My claws.
My claws.
Yeah, and they have the Euro's born 82.
Yes.
She did her thing. She really did. Brittany, girl.
Like never disappoint us.
Never.
So how was your birthday?
It was good. Wednesday night, my actual birthday, we just kind of did a family thing. We went to Rocket Cafe, which they've got really good home style food.
Yeah.
Love Rocket Cafe. The food there is bomb. Gary, you're the bomb. Mm-hmm. I love Gary. He works there. He buys tamales for me, and so do the people that work there. But Gary's such a good person. I love Gary to death. And then the weekend after, went to Wicked Butcher. Great steakhouse.
Really?
Really good. Had some really bomb food. And then we went to some bars and stuff. And yeah, we had a really good time. And it was funny. It was so funny because the first bar we went to, just drinking, chilling, and in come these two guys. And the guy was like, is this your first date? Or because Paul had gone to the bathroom at the time.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, is this y'all's first date? And I was like, why no?
I was like,
why no? I don't know.
What gave off that vibe.
I have no idea.
Well, you're acting nervous.
No, not even. Not at that point. I had already had, because at the restaurant, they gave, you walk in and like, oh, do you want some champagne? I was like, yeah. Paul doesn't like champagne, but I was like, he wants some too, because I'll take his.
Yeah.
And, so I was already not buzzed, but I mean, I was feeling good. Yeah. And then we had obviously some drinks at the restaurant, and so by the time we got to the bar, I was feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
And, but anyway, so the guy, I was like, no, we're out for my birthday, da 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 da. And he was like, oh, okay. He goes, let's get her a shot. You know, let's get them some shots. And so they bought us a round of shots, some Mexican candy shots, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were pretty cool. And then the guys were like, oh, we've been drinking since noon. And yes, this is like full 12 hours of drinking by this point. But he was like, but we've also been doing a little
extracurricular activities.
Little Ash Trevino, you know, y'all know what I mean. And I was like, oh, okay, we're just letting all our information out. Yeah,
telling me all your business. How do you know I'm not an undercover? Or
yeah,
you don't know what I do for a living?
No, he was like, yeah, we've been. I was like, oh, okay. And I'm chit chatting with him. You're the same way though. You chit chat with anybody you meet. You know? And Paul's so not like that. He was just kind of like, but he's
having a conversation now.
But he was talking to them as well. Yeah. And but they ended up leaving. They weren't there for very long at all. And they left. They got 2 beers and then had like this much gone from the beer. And I'm like, y'all just drank a sip and left?
So y'all really haven't been drinking, because if that's what y'all been doing at every bar.
True.
Or maybe they were just already at their, like, okay.
Possibly.
Slowing down.
Possibly. And then, so then they jetted, and so then we went walking, and it started raining, so we just kind of went into whatever bar we could find.
Yeah.
We went in there, and this chick follows us in there, and she's got a suitcase, right? And she comes in.
A suitcase.
Yeah, she's got a suitcase. And Paul goes to the bar. He was like, I'm going to go get some drinks. And I was like, all right, cool. And so then, I don't know how, but me and her started chit-chatting. And she starts telling me that she had caught a flight. It got delayed. And then it caused her to be late for the other plane. And then the other plane wasn't going to come until like the next morning. And so then she was like, well, for some reason, she was like, her family was like, just take the bus. And so I don't know if you've ever been to the Greyhound station downtown.
Yes.
It's bad.
At
night. No.
Where did I hear that they were closing the Greyhound or something?
I don't know.
They were getting rid of it. They were going to close it down, or... Yeah, I swear I heard that, like, within the last year.
Oh, well, then maybe Paul was right. Because, so... She says that she's going to catch the bus, but they won't let her in until 2 hours before her bus leaves. Okay. And so she said that it was like at 3. She said it was like at 3 or 4 or something like that. So she had an hour to kill before she could get into the the bus station.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, you know, and she was like, but honestly, she goes, I'm just chilling, you know, she goes, I'll just hang out here until, I was like, well, do you want anything to drink? I said, he's already at the bar. And she goes, I don't want any out. She goes, just some cranberry juice. I was like, oh, you know, okay. So I go and tell Paul, and he was like, okay. And I know he was thinking, this crazy lady over here making friends with everybody she freaking meets. And so then we're talking and whatnot. And so then we had to get high because we Ubered downtown. So then
wait, so you don't know what she had in her suitcase?
Clothes. I'm assuming she was trying to get home. She was telling us that she was trying to get to Mississippi where her kids were at.
I was just scared. Like, what the hell you got in your suitcase?
I mean, clothes. She was traveling, so I'm assuming clothes.
But okay, hold on, pause right there. I would not take the bus. I'd be like, I'm gonna sleep at the airport.
Me neither.
Something.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna take the bus. I'll catch another flight. Like, I'll figure it out, but I'm not taking a bus. Like, you can't convince me to take a bus.
So Heidi comes and picks us up, whatnot, and by this time I'm already like tipsy, you know, and everything. Yeah. And I fall asleep on the way home, and we get to the house, and Paul's talking about this girl over here making friends with Gypsy Rose, and I was like,
Gypsy Rose?
Because her name was Rose.
Oh my God.
And I was like, He was like, she was homeless, dude. And I was like, why do you say she was homeless? He goes, she had a suitcase. And I was like, yeah, because she was traveling. He goes, really? You're going to fall for that? He goes, how do you know she wasn't like trying to like mark us for like guys or something? And I was like,
That's
you,
true.
I was like, you're just being so negative. I'm over here looking like the glass is half full, and he's looking at it as the glass is half empty.
He's looking like you almost got us kidnapped.
Yes. And I was like, first of all, ain't nobody gonna kidnap you. Second of all, if they kidnap me, they're gonna return me right back because I just talked too much.
Like, you know what, never mind. We'll go for someone else.
So that was we had fun. It was fun. So
Good.
yeah, it was a good birthday for sure.
Good. I'm glad. We went last night. We went to STK.
Happy anniversary, by the way.
Thank you.
Saw that. I saw your hubby's post, and I was like, oh my gosh.
It was actually, I've never been.
I've never been there either.
I've heard about it.
Was it downtown?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually really, really good. So the steak was so soft. Like, I'm always like, my dad has set my expectations for steak like here, and nobody can ever reach what my dad does, like ever. Like,
yeah,
I've had good steaks. I'm not gonna say I haven't had any good steaks, but they're never like up here. That steak was so freaking soft. Like,
look, she's over here, mom.
Like, my mouth is watering. But it was so soft and so good. The atmosphere was good. Our server, she was really nice. I felt like not fancy enough because she was like, would y'all like some water to start? And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, tap water, bottled water, or sparkling water. And I was like, tap water is fine. Okay. So she came and brought it. And I like my water ice cold. Like, ice cold.
See, I'm okay with room temperature.
I'm not. It just, something in my brain triggers me and says it's dirty when it's hot.
It's dirty when it's hot?
Yeah. I don't know why. It's just a mind thing. Like,
okay.
I have to have ice cold water. This water was warm. It wasn't room temperature. It was warm. I grabbed it and it touched my lips and I was like, I don't want this. And then the table next to us, they got bottled water and I seen it was Fiji water. And I was like, I want bottled water. I was like, it's tap.
You could have asked for ice?
Well, I didn't know. I was like, I don't want to ask for ice. And she'd be like, ma'am, tap water is supposed to be this type of temperature.
Not you.
I was like, I just want bottled water. And then she brought it and like, I was knocking it back. Like, that water was so good and so cold. I was like, I'm so thirsty. I just want some water.
That's funny.
But it was really good. And then they bring you some, what they call their pull apart bread, with some chive oil. And that was really good. We got some calamari. The calamari was really good. For the sides, we got mac and cheese and creamed spinach. That was really good. They were really big servings.
Yeah, those places are usually like they're shareable sides.
So it was actually really good vibe. It actually got crowded once we were leaving because when we got there, our reservation was for 6:30, so it wasn't full. Like, I mean, there was people there, but once we left, it started getting busy. But it was a good vibe. I'm gonna do a whole TikTok video. I'll take pictures and videos. You know, I was like, wait, I gotta get this for my TikTok. Hold on, wait.
I know. I was gonna do the same thing when we went to Wicked Butcher, but then I was like, no, it's my birthday. Like, I just want to chill. I just want to enjoy it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do a video, but it was really good. And then after that, we just went to Topgolf. I've never been to Topgolf, so I was like, I want to do that. Because he was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. I don't want to. Because he was like, you want to go to a bar? I was like, not really. Like, I want to do something different. And I've never been to Topgolf, and I've always talked about going. So we went. We had a good time.
You know what I want to do? I want to do axe throwing. I've never been.
I want to do that too. I didn't think about that.
We need to go together.
I'm like,
that'll be fun.
Yeah,
we can do that. We need to do like.
Have you been to Topgolf before?
A long time ago. Like, it's been a minute. Yeah.
Well, we had fun. I'd go again. I'd take all my kids. Took me about like 10 swings to learn how to actually hit the ball, but it's fine.
It's not like putt-putt.
No, you have to like put some strength in it and get out there. It's not like you can't just
I don't know.
You gotta act like you're Tiger Woods and hit it.
So act like you're mad at somebody and
okay. Yeah, there you go. Put some strength up in there so it can go. I was like, because I kept hitting and I was like, I just want it because it would go and it would start bouncing. I was like, I just want some air time. I just want to see it go. When I
just go.
Yeah. And when I finally did, I was like, I did it. We had had a good time though. It was fun. And I'm old because I was like, man, I'm tired. Like I was just tired, and I mean, we drank, but we didn't get wasted or anything. And I told him I woke up like at 4:00 in the morning because I had to use the restroom, and I woke up so confused because I didn't remember falling asleep. I remember getting in bed,
but you weren't drunk.
No, like I remember getting in bed and I'm laying there, we're talking, and I was just like, I'm so tired, and that's the last thing I remember saying. And then when I woke up to use the restroom, like the whole room was dark. I was like, dang, when did I fall asleep?
That's funny.
That's how tired I was. I was so
funny.
tired. I was like, I'm so sorry. I kept telling him, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm tired. He's like, it's okay. I was like, I said, this isn't gonna be one of those we stay up till 5 a.m. nights drinking. And I was like, I'm tired. I got in bed and
sometimes, but you know what? Sometimes, especially after like a meal like that, a heavy meal, because steak is heavy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just like, I'm just tired. Like I'm just feel like, because we've done that too. We've gone out for a good dinner, and then it's just like, you want to go to the bar? No, not really.
Yeah.
You know?
And I was full, but I wasn't stuffed where I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I could have if I would have ate all them sides, but. I mean, I was good. It was good.
Your hubby said he's like Tiger Woods.
First of all, okay, hold on. He kept hitting the damn like ground, right? He was missing them because we had to both.
So you're not like Tiger Woods.
But wait, hold on. And so I'm laughing at him because he's missing and everything. I bring out my phone. I was like, I'm gonna record you. And as soon as I hit record, bing, he hit it.
Of course.
I was like,
of course.
Really? I said, okay, Tiger Woods. Like,
of course.
It was a good hit. I was like, wow. I was like, I'm not even going to upload it because that was not the point of my video. You were supposed to swing and miss like you've been doing. I was like, that's what I got to do to make you hit it right. I was like, I got to be like, oh, I'm going to record you.
Yeah. Look, today, Gordo's got a soccer game at 3 o'clock.
It's so freaking cold.
I know. I'm not looking forward to it. But I texted Tina last night and I was like, hey, can we do like 12:30 instead of our normal 1 o'clock because Gordo's got a game. It just gives me a little bit of extra time, a little cushion time in case we go over or whatnot.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, cool, we'll do 12:30. So slept in a little bit because we're up late watching movies and stuff. And then by the time we have breakfast, and then we're like, oh, we got to watch our 1923 episode, right?
Yeah.
Not knowing it's the season finale and the bitch is like 2 hours long. And so then I'm like I kept looking at the time. I was like, okay, Tina's supposed to be here at 12:30. You know, just trying to plan it out. And I was like, okay, we're not going to finish this episode. Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And so, like, right in the middle, like, it was a good stopping point. I was like, okay, pause. Everybody's like, I was like, I had to go get in the shower. And because Tina's supposed to be here at 12:30. So I go hop in the shower. And then this bitch texts me talking about I'm on my way. As I'm getting out of the shower, I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, let me, you know. So, no makeup. Hair's pulled back. It's still wet, guys. Like, I literally got out of the shower, like, right before she got here.
It's because we missed last week, and I was like, I got so much to talk about. Like, we can't cut this episode short. We can't cut it short. So I was like, I'm going to be on time.
And then I was going to tell you, give me 10 minutes. But I was like, no, let's just, I can do this real quick. While she's trying to get here, I can get dressed. Pull my hair back, you know.
Well, see, and I also took my time. Like, when I text you, I was barely walking to my car, and then I was like, you know what? Because usually I'm like, pedal to the metal, trying to get here, but I took my time getting here.
I'm glad. Good. It gave me that time to kind of
if you would have told me to give you time, I would have just sat outside in my car and be like, tell me when you're ready for me.
I just told Heidi, I was like, just let her in when she gets here if I'm not. She was like, okay. I got you. All right, so you said, I told Tina, I was like, I really don't have, like, not that I don't have anything to talk, like, if you give me a subject,
let me check my list.
I will, you know, have, but she was like, I got a whole bunch of stuff I want to talk about. Like, okay, good, you bring the topics.
Why is it not even, wow.
Look at her not prepared.
What's my phone? Okay, let's talk about Yolanda.
Oh, yeah.
Her parole getting denied.
I feel like I knew it was going to get denied. There was just too many, like, she's safer in, it's crazy. She's safer in prison than she would be out here.
I agree. Whatever excuse that they gave her why they denied her parole, I feel like that they made that shit up to protect her because they knew the citizens of Texas, not just Corpus or San Antonio, the citizens of Texas
She wouldn't have been safe
were
anywhere.
coming for her.
Yeah.
And I think that they made up whatever could pass legally to deny her parole because they knew she wasn't safe. So I'm like, they did it for her sake.
She will spend the rest of her days in prison.
I believe so too. And if she doesn't, they're gonna have to like really put her in hiding, change her identity. Like she's just not safe.
I think what hurt her was her doing that whole documentary.
Yes.
Her family coming out and you know, her trying to get in the spotlight. It was almost like she was trying to do kind of like Gypsy Rose, like get in the spotlight so that when she comes out, like she can have this whole...
She has a platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To monetize off
And I think it kind of backfired on her. Like she might have made some money. I'm sure she did make money off of the documentary, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like it didn't have the same effect for her like Gypsy did.
Yeah.
And people are, I mean, even 30 years after Selena's passing, I feel like it's still fresh. Like people have not forgotten
that, and we do not forgive you. Like,
yeah,
we don't forgive you.
Mm-mm.
And I feel like Gypsy's story is different though. Like, I don't know. I'm not defending Gypsy because y'all already know how I feel.
I think she's losing her.
But she never denied the involvement. She never said, "Oh, it wasn't me. I wasn't there." She's never full out admitted, you know, like, but I don't know. I just feel like Yolanda was like 100, trying to claim 100% innocence. You know what I'm saying? And flip it back on Selena's family instead of taking some type of ownership. I know Gypsy didn't take 100% ownership either, but it's just two different things. So if that's what she was basing off, well, Gypsy offed her mom, and if she got away with it, I can get no. It's too different. Like, yeah, no, you won't be safe out here. Sorry, she won't. I mean, and people are willing to go to jail over Selena. Like, they don't care. They may catch a case and get time, but people don't care. They're gonna be in there, but like, yeah, I did this to Yolanda for Selena.
You know why though? Because if a person was to take out Yolanda, do you know how much support that person would get?
Exactly. Even if they just
I'm not encouraging it by any means.
No.
But if that was to happen, people aren't going to hit there and be like, you finally took out the person that everybody's been wanting for them to be gone. You know, so I don't feel like anybody... Now, a court system obviously isn't going to see it that way. Like, they're going to do time.
Right.
There would be people putting money on their books. They're
writing them. Like, they'll have it made.
They would get the fame.
Yeah.
They would get the fame.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not encouraging it by any means. By any means. But that's what would happen. That's what would happen.
So,
100%.
Yay for that. That's what you get. You thought you were going to get out, and you're not. Haha. Stay in there.
Yeah. Rot in prison. It's not even jail. Prison. Rot in prison. Yeah. She's getting what she deserves, honestly.
So. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about, I am obviously in like a bunch of different groups on Facebook. I'm in this one podcast group that I listen to. And it's just a group, like people that listen to the podcast, and then they come and they talk about, oh, did y'all hear today's episode, blah, blah, right? So one of them was, somebody had made a post. It was a simple post. And this group is like 98% women, okay? If not almost 100. Anyways, they were talking about how one of the hosts of the podcast said she was a minimalist, but she uses paper plates. And so her post was something like, I listened to today's episode. I love you, girl, but how are you going to say you're a minimalist, but you use paper plates, blah, blah. And she's like, whatever. But she made it good, like, I'm not coming for you. I'm not talking shit. Like, she was like, that doesn't go hand in hand, but love you. The comments went off. There were probably like 300 comments on this. People going back and forth about paper plates versus real plates, right? It was just a simple post. Like, people were arguing.
God.
People were
I was
calling other
wondering.
people lazy. Like, I have made a comment on there. I said, I got too many damn kids to not use paper plates. Then people started commenting under my comments saying, you're just lazy. Why don't you teach your kids how to wash dishes? You can
Calling you lazy?
Yeah. Because I said I got too many kids to not be using paper plates. Shit, I don't want to be fucking washing dishes. And then they're like, why don't you put it in the dishwasher? I was like, well, first of all, I'm Mexican and we don't use dishwashers all the time. I was like, I've used it, but most of the time my dishwasher is for storage. I was like, just like our ovens are for storage, the dishwasher is for storage. And I was like, and I prefer to wash dishes by hand. And then they're like, well, you're just lazy. I said, well, then bitch, call me the fucking lazy queen if that's what it is for using paper plates. And
oh my God! Over
like,
paper plates, people.
And then I said, and then they said something else, and I was like, I said, this is wild over some paper plates. I was like, this is supposed to be a group where we're basically all women supporting each other. And I was like, y'all are going this deep over some fucking paper plates? I was like, that's crazy. I was like, I don't have to explain myself to nobody. I was like, but that's crazy.
Not them judging you for using paper.
Yeah, so I'm lazy because I use paper plates.
I use paper plates. So my dishwasher is used as a drying rack. We wash by hand and then stick in the dishwasher so they can air dry.
Yeah.
And then we put them up.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's like storage, I guess. I don't know. But on occasion, we will run it. Like if we've got a bunch of them, we'll run it just because they say you're supposed to run it every so often, just so, you know. But I don't use it every day.
I used to never use my dishwasher. Honestly, when the boys were younger, that's where I would hide the snacks because I knew they weren't going to look in there because I never used the dishwasher. So there was no reason for them to open it to be like, oh, is there a cup in here or a plate in here? I used to use it. And then, like you said, you have to run it so it doesn't get all backed up or whatever. But then, I mean, when I moved to the other house, I did use it, but once every few months would I use my dishwasher. It was used, like you said, for everything else. So yeah, it was just crazy. Them tell me, well,
I
use your
cannot
dishwasher.
believe that.
But doesn't dishwasher use a lot more water? Like it was just crazy. Because I remember one time we had I don't know, I think a birthday party or something, and we were hanging out in the kitchen, and one of my friends, she accidentally leaned against the dishwasher and it turned on. She was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. And I was like, it's fine, like I don't ever use it anyway, so there's nothing in there. Like, just turn it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I use paper plates because my kids, especially like for lunchtime, they'll go in there and instead of like asking me, they'll just be like, I'm just gonna make me a sandwich. Like my kids are, they'll go make themselves a sandwich. They'll grab a paper plate, make a peanut butter sandwich or a bologna sandwich, whatever, and then they can throw away their plate.
We have real plates. Don't get me wrong. Like, we use them for certain dinners. Like, for example, if I make steaks, we're using real plates because ain't no way I'm gonna serve a steak on a paper plate. Like, but it's just like most of the time we're using paper plates. If I could use paper pots and pans, I would. I hate dishes. I hate dishes. I hate them.
If I cook, my sister cleans.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually how we do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's times where I'll get in there. Like, I don't like dishes either, but I'll get in there. Like, I don't like to see dishes in my sink either, though. Yeah. So if I see dishes, I'm gonna go and do them.
I mean, of course, like I'll do them, but I'm gonna do it and be mad about it. Oh, I hate dishes. Yeah. I hate dishes. I don't know what it is. I mean, that's not saying I don't do dishes. I do them.
I hate dusting.
Like,
dusting is my I'm just like, where's all this freaking dust come from? Oh, so annoying.
And the last comment I said with the person that called me lazy, I was like, I said, let's do this. I said, since you love washing dishes so much, I said, how about I cook for you and you can wash all my dishes? I was like, okay, my love.
That was her way of saying, bless your heart.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Oh, I'm like, why are we arguing over paper plates? That's stupid. Okay, if you don't believe I'm using them, that's you, but goddamn. And then sit there and be like, you don't teach your kids how to wash dishes? That's not the point. Like, that's not the point. That's not the point.
No, it's really not. That's crazy though.
Mhm.
That
And-
honestly, that's
And
really
there was only a
crazy.
handful of us that were like, "Are we really arguing over paper plates versus real plates?" Like, it's crazy.
So speaking of Facebook groups, I know I said I